Hello teachers, this is the project-based learning support video for grade 7 for the PBL telling time. It is based on the chapter, the gymnastic clock. The learning objectives are identify parts of a clock and their function and tell the time. The learning outcomes are thinks critically, compares and contrasts characters, events, ideas and themes and relates them to life. Identifies details, characters, main idea and sequence of ideas and events in textual or non-textual material. You may start the activity by asking the children a leading question, which could be like, what will happen if you do not use any clock or watch for a whole week? This would get the child to start thinking about this one instrument that they are probably taking for granted and not really thinking about it too much when they see it. Further this thought process by starting a discussion. Look for a clock around you and ask the children to tell you what the time is. See if they are able to read the time. How do you think the clock helps to plan our day? You may further ask the children. The children can ponder over these questions while they continue working on the PBL. In order to read time, the most important thing is to be able to understand the hands of the clock. So the longer hand shows the minutes and is called the minute hand, and the shorter hand is called the hour hand and it shows the hours on the clock. Once this is explained to the children, you can move on to explain to them the numbers that are visible on the clock. The numbers on the clock are the hour numbers and they tell you in which hour it is. The smaller lines in between the numbers tells us how many minutes of the hour there are. So inform the students about these small technicalities about which will help them when they are reading reading the time. It's important that the children are familiar with the basics of a clock. You can start with the minute hand and the hour hand. The minute hand is the longer hand and shows the minutes in the day, and the hour hand shows the hours in the day and it is shorter. Then also introduce the hour numbers to the children, speaking to them about how the numbers that are displayed on the clock are the hour numbers. It shows you at what time, which hour it is in the day. The small lines in between the numbers are minutes. So they will show you how many minutes of the hour have gone by. So simply put, the clock is divided up to 5-minute sections. When the minute hand, which is the longer hand, moves from 12 to 1, it would have covered 5 minutes. Help the children understand this concept clearly so that they are able to read time without any difficulty. The next activity is a fill in the blanks of the minutes on the clock. A few of the minutes that are left blank, the answers are 15 minutes, 25 minutes, for 6 it is 30 minutes, for 7 it is 35 minutes, for 9 it is 45 minutes, and for 10 it is 50 minutes. Once the children are familiar with the minutes, you may then ask them to start creating a clock. This is a very interesting activity for the children. Ensure that you support them to get the mechanics of the clock correctly in terms of making sure that the hands of the clock move so that they can position it in different places and read the time accordingly. So once they are done, you can get them to read the time on these clocks. So move the needles to different positions and ask them to read the time. For example, here the hour hand is on the number 10 and the minute hand is on the number 2. So the time is 10 minutes past 2 o'clock. When the children are at home, they can look at the clock in their home and see what time it reads. Now comes reading comprehension. Raju and his sister have a strict routine to go to bed on time, eat on time, sleep on time, and do their homework on time. Raju says it is because their mother has always taught them that being on time is very important in life. He learned this through a very important lesson in his life. Raju was a lively boy who loved running and had been practicing for months for the big school race. However, Raju was bad at being on time. He would eat late, sleep late, and then wake up late in the morning, often missing his bus. One morning, just like every other day, he woke up late because he had slept late the previous night. Suddenly, Raju had a bad dream. In his dream, Raju realized he was late for his race. He hurried to get ready, but by the time he reached the bus stop, the school bus was already gone. He ran as fast as he could to school, but when he arrived, the race had already started and he had missed his chance. Though this was just a dream, Raju felt disappointed. Soon, he heard the alarm clock next to his bed and he woke up. Raju was surprised to find out that this was all just a dream. Raju learned that being on time was important and promised himself to always wake up early and never miss the bus again. Raju made a schedule to help him stay on time. This made sure he never missed anything important in his life. Once you've read the comprehension passage, you can take the children through the questions that follow. Here are a few answers for the first few questions that are there in the PBL. Why was Raju always on time? C. The mother always taught him that being on time is very important. 2. What time does Raju get up? C. 8 o'clock. 3. What does Raju's sister do at 10 o'clock? C. She does her homework. 4. Why did Raju miss the race in his dream? He didn't wake up on time. 5. What did Raju do to always be on time? He made a schedule. This is followed by the practice sheet. So you may take the children through these questions too. Here are a few answers. Which hand on the clock is the shortest? The hour hand. What does the minute hand on a clock do? Tells the minutes. The second hand on the clock shows the number of hours. How is the minute hand different from the hour hand? It is longer. Then we have the OMR sheet, which will help the children practice for any competitive exam that they might give. This brings us to the end of the support video. Thank you for listening.